Good morning. I'm Thomas Buchanan. I'm on maintenance. It is Tuesday. What is it? February 18th, 2025. February is about gone. This is maintenance week 6, day 2. Yesterday I was at 210.4 and I said it would be wonderful if I would hit 209 or 208 dot something this week. Woke up this morning, I'm at 209.8. Fantastic. Fantastic. 209.8. What was I? 211.6 came dangerously close to my 212 upper maximum weight range I'm trying to stay within. 209.8. Anything below 210 is a lot better. And I really want it to be 205 or below because my intermediate goal weight range is 198 to 205. My long-term goal weight is I will not exceed 212. I mean, that's just, I'll take the MEDAX approach, dramatic action, if I should even touch 212. So to wake up below 210 this morning, it's Christmas. Um, some people say this has nothing to do with weight gain or weight loss, and I would challenge you on that statement. We're going to talk some about blood pressure today. One observation I have made in my limited research into blood pressure, and one just categorically don't do this regarding blood pressure that you need to be aware of. There are two types of blood pressure machines. One is it goes around the wrist, right? It's not effective. Not only is it not effective, it's not accurate. Don't use those. Remember the old-fashioned kind that would wrap around your arm once? Well, I went out and bought one of those after talking to a couple doctors. And this is what I'm referring to. You stick your arm in here all the way up, and then you wrap it kind of snug, and then you inflate it and you get your number. That's the kind you need to be buying. I mean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you get the one that would wrap around your arm? Because if it wraps around your arms, it will probably wrap around your legs also. Because I'm still of the belief, and I have nothing to back this up with yet, that you should not take just one blood pressure measurement. I'm leaning towards designing a form where you write down all 4 blood pressure readings, one around your arm, one around the other arm, and one each around your legs. I think it matters. Haven't read anything yet. It's kind of like weight loss. People keep getting larger, and everybody's too sensitive to address the issue. Everybody's too politically correct to say, my God, you're fat. You're obese. Nobody will be honest with you. They lie to your face. They make comments like, well, you're big boned. Bullshit. You're big boned. The other one I heard a lot too, and I've said this on my channel a couple of times, is they said, well, your mama was obese. Both of your sisters are obese. Your brother's fat. He's not obese yet, but so you've got the gene. So you're just destined to be obese. So go eat a box of donuts and just enjoy. Oh me. Uh, and by the way, that's incorrect, that statement. In case you're wondering, in case you're not smart enough to figure it out, there is no fat gene. That's bullshit. Watch what you're putting in your mouth. You folks on maintenance know this. Watch the quantity you eat. Watch the type of food you eat. Watch where you eat. Pay particular attention to why you're eating. Are you eating because, hey, it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner? It's time to eat. Whether you're hungry or not, it's time to eat. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Oh, my goodness, it's 2 o'clock. Time for my snacks. My God, really, folks? Really? I'm on maintenance, so I'm allowed to eat food, right? You know that. I know that. I woke up this morning. I said to myself, I'm not really hungry. I'm not really thirsty. But whoops, clock on the wall says it's breakfast time, time to eat. You know what I said? I said, no, I am neither hungry nor am I thirsty. I'm not going to eat breakfast. And I didn't. I mean, don't eat just to eat. Don't eat because someone says, well, when it's 7 a.m., when it's 6:45 a.m., it's time to eat before you go to work. Oh, I love these people who say, well, don't miss breakfast. Gotta get that metabolism going. How do we get that metabolism going? We drink coffee, which has caffeine, which spikes your blood sugar to the moon and back, and we consume food. Your body needs food. Your body has to have food. You'll die. Oh, I've heard it all so many times. And now I laugh at these people. Every time I see my doctor, he gets fatter and fatter and fatter. I love this guy. This guy is a medical genius. He has good common sense, but not about losing weight. The other observation I want to make is this on blood pressure. Um, your body pumps blood to your hands, through your arms, through your legs, to your feet. Uh, why, when you go to a doctor's office, do they only put the blood pressure cuff on one arm? They're only getting 25% of the picture. I'm almost of the opinion, and I've not done this yet, even though, as you saw, I went and bought my own blood pressure machine, which I perceive to be reliable. I think I'm putting the cuff on the right way. I still think we need to start measuring both legs and both arms when it relates to blood pressure. And I'm even going to stick my neck out here on my channel and say, I think it's kind of like when we weigh ourselves in the morning. I mean, you get up, you get out of bed, you pee, you wake up, and you weigh yourself, right? I've said that on my channel many times. Make sure you weigh yourself in the same outfit or the same clothes. I don't care if it's your underwear, at the same time each day, using the same scale each day, right? Well, here comes, I'm going to stretch a little here, go out on a limb and say, and after you measure your weight by stepping on the scale, I think you need to measure your blood pressure in both arms, both legs at the same time each day. Now, weight wise, we all know, I don't care how good you are, you weigh more in the evening than you do in the morning. That's why I suggest and recommend that we all weigh ourselves, as I do, in the morning, first thing when you get up. When is the optimal time to take your blood pressure? I don't know. So I will have to investigate it. This is a teaching learning channel, just as you saw me fail many times until I figured out the weight loss issue and how to lose weight, and more importantly, how to keep it off. You're going to see me figure out the blood pressure situation. And I don't know if I have it here or not. Actually, I do. As you can see, I track my blood pressure. I track the high number, the low number. I track all three numbers, just as I do my weight. Write it down. You cannot manage what you don't measure. Write down your numbers so that you can go back and you can see, well, let me make some observations. When I first get up in the morning, my blood pressure is fairly high. I know that because I just looked at my numbers. Is that good or bad? Is that a common occurrence, or should I be concerned? And the other observation I'm going to make on blood pressure, and again, be forewarned, you're going to hear me talk about blood pressure quite a bit, in addition to weight, because it matters. It all matters. You know, we've got the weight thing figured out. Now let's turn our attention to blood pressure. And the other suspicion that I have, and again, I have no data yet to back this up, is I am 69 years old. I know that. That's a fact. Should a 69-year-old's blood pressure be the same as a 50 or a 30-year-old or a 20-year-old? Should I be higher? And then in addition to that, is the following statement true? The older you get, the higher your blood pressure ratchets up? Or is that an incorrect statement? I personally believe, just based on initial observation, and again, looking at very preliminary numbers, for me, that old people or older people have a consistently higher blood pressure than younger people. Is that good? Is that bad? Don't know. That's just an observation I think I can make at this point. I mean, there are a lot of questions, just as in weight loss. You know, I had to figure out, well, why am I eating? I'm not hungry. It's kind of like this morning. Well, it's time to eat. It's breakfast. Got to eat. But I'm not really hungry. I'm not really thirsty. But I got to eat because, you know, they tell me I'm supposed to eat. Well, I didn't eat. I didn't drink. It's what? At the time I'm making this video, it's 10:30 in the morning. I haven't had a drop of water, no coffee, no tea, no food, no toast, no omelet, no nothing. And I sit here and I smile because I'm good with that. I mean, I'm not trying to cut back on groceries because I'm poor and I'm struggling. No, 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 no. I'm just not hungry. You know, you ever have those times during the day when, well, the clock says it's noon, got to go eat, but you're not really hungry. You're not really thirsty. But, the clock on the wall says eat. So listen to yourself, especially for you folks on maintenance. If you're not hungry, don't eat lunch. If it's dinner time and everyone around you is eating and you're not really hungry, you're not really thirsty, don't eat, don't drink. I mean, I live in America. It's not against the law to say, no, no, I'm not hungry. Thank you. No, no, I'm not thirsty, but thank you anyway. I mean, think about what I'm saying here. For you folks on maintenance, I ask you to consider 5 areas always when you eat. Well, one of the areas that I ask you to consider is, why are you eating? Are you eating because someone made you a dish and or made you lunch or made you it's time to eat? Why are you eating? Why are you eating if you're not hungry? If you're not thirsty, why are you drinking? Water, coffee, tea, juice. I don't care what it is you drink. My question to you is, why are you? It's what, an hour? It's 90 minutes to lunchtime. In 90 minutes, I'll be expected to eat. Well, sure, you're hungry. You need something to eat. Would you like some water, apple juice, coffee, tea? Would you like a cheeseburger? That's what I'm going to put up with in 90 minutes. And I may say again what I said at breakfast. No, thank you. I am not thirsty. I am not hungry. I do not need to eat. I do not need to drink liquids. I'm good. I don't care what the clock on the wall says. I don't care what we're trained to do. You have to get out of those. I don't even know the word to use. You have to get out of those scripts you've learned. You have to get out of those habits you've learned. Well, it's dinner time, it's time to eat. Really? Might I suggest the reason for obesity in America? The reason why your ass is getting wider and wider and wider, and your weight is going up and up and up and up, is because you're listening to those people tell you that. Again, for God's sakes, if you're not hungry, don't eat. If you're not thirsty, don't eat. You're not starving yourself. There's no law that says we must eat breakfast, we must eat lunch, we must eat dinner, and we must have two snacks. Those 5 areas for you folks on maintenance that I ask you to always evaluate when you eat. I had to figure those out. You know, I've got a foodie. My spouse is a foodie. All, she constantly thinks about food. She constantly thinks about, it's what did I say? 10:30? It's 10:30 in the morning. She's already thinking about what she's going to eat for lunch and what she's going to eat for dinner. And oh, I wonder what she's going to have for her snack. Because it's 10:30, it's about time for her snack. I mean, people get into these routines. People get into these scripts. People get into these habits, and they just do it because you do it. So for you folks on maintenance, you know, it was hard to come up with those 5 areas that you should always look at and think about. Now, for you folks on your water fast, you don't have to worry. You get no food. Period. I know that's cruel and harsh, and a meat axe approach to everything. I've heard all that. I agree with you. I've been on enough water fasts in 5+ years. Boy, I totally agree with you. It is meat axe approach. But you see, you don't have to worry about those 5 areas when you're on a water fast. For you folks on maintenance, you constantly, you always must think about, don't worry about them, but you must think about those 5 areas that I've brought to your attention. And you know, one is not any more than important than the other. But never eat just to eat. That's my point today. Never eat just to eat when you're on maintenance, as I am. I may eat lunch and I may not. I chose this morning not to eat breakfast. I chose this morning not to even have a glass of water so far. I'm making a conscious choice and have for the past 3 or 4 weeks to stop drinking coffee while on maintenance. Now, for me, it's a little different than for you, but for all of us, when you consume caffeine, it plays with your blood sugar and you feel great for a few minutes, and after that, you crash. And you go get another cup of coffee and you feel great for a few minutes and you crash. Now, for being diabetic, I caffeine is bad for a diabetic. Okay, if you've got diabetes, even if you've got pre-diabetes, cut the coffee, eliminate the coffee. The coffee growers don't like me, the coffee producers don't like me. I don't care. Eliminate coffee from your diet. Eliminate tea from your diet. Well, coffee is different from tea. Why should you have to eliminate tea? Tea has caffeine in it. And some teas have just as much caffeine, if not a little more, than coffee does. It's all about what we're putting into our bodies. And that's another video. But for today, I want to focus on if your body says it's not hungry, don't feed it and you're on maintenance. If your body says it's not thirsty, don't drink. Don't drink your glass of water. Don't drink coffee. Don't drink tea. Don't drink anything. If your body says, hey, I'm good. I don't need to eat. I'm good. Count that as a sign. Count that as a blessing. Count that as progress. I mean, you cannot eat and be on maintenance, even though you're allowed to eat. So we are in Texas preparing for the next ice storm and sub-zero weather. I didn't think it got this cold in Texas, but I guess it does. So the next day or two, it's going to get super cold. And I hope you all stay warm, regardless of what part of the country you're in. I have to close with a smile on my face when I say, hey folks, it happens every year. It's a thing called winter. Just like, hey folks, I'm no weather forecaster, but I know summer is coming. It happens every year. I guarantee it. Well, it's now winter. It is supposed to be cold. It is going to be rainy, icy. We might get some snow. We might not. Hey, folks, it is winter. Suck it up. Prepare for it and get over it. The news media, the weather people on TV, they have this, they've got to blow things out of proportion. I mean, I don't care if we get ice, I don't care if we get rain, I don't care if we get snow, I don't care if we get 30, 40, 50 mile an hour winds. It's winter, folks. News flash, it's winter. And when it is winter, it gets cold. Is that a surprise to anyone? As you can see, I get my blankets out. I'm just fine. You prepare for the weather, you deal with the weather, and you go on. You prepare to lose weight by starting your own water fast. You lose the weight, and then together we figure out how you're going to keep it off. That's called weight loss. That's called weight management. You prepare for the weather. At some point, we will be out of winter and spring will start. I guarantee it. Spring is around the corner. I don't care if it's in 3 days or 3 more weeks. I mean, that's called managing your situation, right? Get a blanket if you're cold. Go buy a hand warmer if you're cold for your hands if you've got cold hands. I mean, reduce the stress in your life by, first of all, recognizing what your body is saying. Hey, I'm not hungry. I don't need breakfast. I don't need to drink anything. I don't need to eat anything. Recognize the weather. Okay, it's winter. It's going to be cold and rainy and maybe overcast and a little bit of ice and a little bit of snow. Whoopee! I mean, don't stress out over it. I've said on my channel many times, reduce the stress in your life. Turn down the volume of stress in your life. And that's true whether, I don't care if you're on my water fast or not. I don't care if you're on maintenance or not. Reduce the stress in your life. I've got some uncomfortable decisions to make this week. They're going to be somewhat stressful. I'm going to make them. It's not pleasant. Don't enjoy it. But reduce the stress in your life. Again, I don't care if you're young, old, employed, unemployed. I don't care if you're black, white, green, Mexican. If you come from a third world, reduce the stress in your life. I don't care I don't care if you're man, woman, girl, boy. Reduce the stress in your life. Life is no fun when you have a lot of stress in your life. Think about what I've said regarding blood pressure. Think about my views. Think about what I've said regarding your weight. Think about what I've said regarding stress in your life. Start chipping away at some of the things that need addressing. That's all I've got for today. Stay warm, stay safe, make it a great day, and good Lord willing, and the electricity doesn't go off here in Texas, I'll see you tomorrow. Stay positive.